I learned a lot of motivational speakers keep telling people to keep moving, to keep pushing, and to keep fighting. Even when you see a man that is just about to die, a man that is already dying, someone is telling you to keep fighting. A door practically that cannot open, someone is telling you to keep knocking. Guys, let's be realistic. How long are we going to dwell in a place that we seek people's validation upon our life? How long are we going to stay in a place that we need people to tell us what to do before we do it? How long are we going to stay in a place that we need external motivation for us to really be what we are supposed to be? Guys. Okay, anyway, I'm not a perspire to aspire coach, guys, but this is me telling you that you need to have guts for you to succeed. There is no guts, there is no glory. What I've seen with a lot of people do is to give up without trying. There's a quote that said that you lose all the shots when you didn't even shoot. So, people automatically lose all the opportunities without even trying. Okay, I've also seen a lot of people who put in effort, did their best, and they failed. Then they stopped. How? Why? If you are going to stop in the first place, why even start? In my backyard, we don't quit. Winners are people who refused to fail. Winners are people who refuse failure to decide their fate. Winners are people who failed a lot number of times, but continued until they found success. Look guys, you give more to become more. You're going to demand more from yourself across all time. At any position, at any place you find yourself, you're going to give in your best. This happens across all facets of our life. Is it relationship? You need to give more in terms of time, gifting, Is it your work with God? You need to give more in your study with the Word of God. You need to give more in your place with God, prayers. Is it in your work office? You need to give more. You need to stay more, maybe a bit more late. You need to wake up a bit more early. You need to do things that ordinarily people would think should not be done. I've never seen anybody who succeeded extraordinarily by being normal. People need to be scared of your visions, your goals, the way you do things. People need to question whether you are actually mentally stable because of your approach to life. Most of the successful people I've seen around, they defy the norms. Oh, what is that thing that looks impossible? That is what they want to do. What is that crazy idea? We call it crazy idea. He doesn't know what he's doing. That guy does not seem to know what he's doing. See, these are the people who continue to defy the norms and continue to make part in their individual endeavors. If you want to be like the crowd, there are many of them. If I throw you the numbers, a lot of people are mediocre. A lot of people want to be average. And there is nothing wrong with being average. But it's only few people who want to be extraordinary. And these people do things that are different. Yes, if you want to get more out of life, you need to do more. I tell people what you do with life is that you negotiate. If you sit back for life to give you what it wants to give you, unfortunately, what you are going to get from life is what others have left. You are going to get a leftover, right? So you need to negotiate better. You need to demand more from life. I talked about guts. You need to have guts for you to win. There is no guts, there is no glory. Like I said, people who crawl when they are supposed to walk. How do you make impact? How do you make impact when you keep planning? Daydreamer. Keep planning, you never commit to actions. Okay, everybody is usually a victim, right? But guys, if you are interested in being in the space of success, then you need to do more. And look, it is wickedness for you to even fail. It's wickedness for you to fail. Because a lot of people are dependent on your success to succeed. So what are you going to tell your generation? What are you going to tell your people? That in your time, you didn't show up. That in your time, you were not numbered. How are you going to say it? How are you going to make the story believe? Either now or later, you are going to realize that the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for your emergence. You can decide to go with the crowd or you decide to be different. If you want to be different, you need to do things differently. You need to avoid the mediocre syndrome. You need to avoid the mediocre mentality. You need to avoid the average man mentality. You need to commit more. You need to do more. You need to listen more. It's entirely your choice to be different. When you are different in the positive way, the world has no other option than to pave way for you. Decisiveness of action, decisiveness of purpose, decisiveness of direction is what you require to even begin a journey of success. You need to set yourself on fire. You need to demand more from yourself. Do not leave the world the way you've met it. But come to think of it, life is like a mirror. It rewards accordingly. Life gives you back what you give to it. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, so shall he reap. Commit more, you get more. The guy who is looking at the winds, who is looking at the summer, who is looking at the weather before he commits energy to production, the guy does not reap anything during the day of harvest. That is how life is. You cannot deprive life of your essence and expect to be impactful. Life only rewards action-oriented people. Stop the talking and start the doing. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, so shall he reap. Please, I want you to sow. Commit to action, guys. Good luck.